All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. So tonight we're talking about the Las Vegas Raiders. In my opinion, they one of the best drafts in the entire NFL, like for real. And what a lot of people are getting wrong, in my opinion, is the selection, the addition of tight end Brock Bowers out of the University of Georgia at pick 13. And everywhere you read or everywhere you hear, everywhere you see is just like, why would you pick him when you don't need a tight end? And it's just so funny to me because Brock Bowers, like a couple of months ago, was this reportedly generational talent at the tight end position who can line up in the slot. He can play tight end. He can block. He can do whatever you need him to do. And for some weird reason, as close as we got to the draft, Brock Bowers' stock just appeared to be falling. Folks, the Las Vegas Raiders hopefully just got a generational talent here. I will go out on a limb here. I will go out on a limb and make a bold prediction. I think at the end of the Raiders season, this upcoming year, Brock Bowers will be their second best offensive player on their entire offense. Folks, in 3 seasons at Georgia, Brock Bowers caught a combined 175 catches for over 2,500 yards and 26 touchdowns. This dude is a receiver. And I get it. He's a tight end, right? And everyone's saying, why? I don't understand it. I don't get it. You need an offensive tackle. You need a right tackle. You need to fix the offensive line. You need a new cornerback with the loss of Amik Robertson. Oh, boo-hoo. I just got a generational talent. Folks, if you are still up in the air about Aidan O'Connell, like I am, what do I want to do? Whether it's a rookie quarterback, whether it's Jimmy frickin' G, whether it's Aidan O'Connell, I don't give a rat's ass. I'm going to surround him with weapons. And that's exactly what Tom Telesco did. We're going to talk more in depth about the Raiders draft in today's video. But before we do, if you guys enjoy it, be sure to hit that like button, hit that sub button for daily NFL content, along with daily Raiders videos. Raiders fans, love you guys so much. You're amped up about this draft. I love it. Me too. If you could try and get this video to 500 likes, that would mean the absolute world to me. So, Brock Bowers, 6'4", 240, built like a freaking wide receiver. Michael Mayer, 6'4", 265. I don't care if Mayer's now the blocking tight end. I don't care what needs to be done or what needs to be asked of either tight end. Folks, we mentioned it in our last video. Aaron Hernandez, Rob Gronkowski. I love options. I love versatility, especially when I have an intriguing 4th-round quarterback, rookie quarterback in Aidan O'Connell last season who, joined this dysfunctional roster, this dysfunctionally ran organization, and then they fired Dave Ziegler and Josh McDaniels, and so Aidan O'Connell gets the starting reps and the starting go, and he goes 5 of 5, and he takes down teams like the Kansas City Chiefs on Christmas Day. And I get it. He didn't need to do too much, but the point still stands. The Raiders roster is so freaking good. The Raiders roster is so talented. In our last video, I mentioned like the only move the Raiders did was Christian Wilkins and Gardner Minshew, and people were throwing a fit about that. That's the point. That's my point. The Raiders didn't need to go into this year's draft class and just get a bunch of freaking studs. Like, they're planning and prepping for the future. They're prepping and planning for the present. And that's exactly what Brock Bowers does. It really reminds me of Rob Gronkowski and Aaron Hernandez. Like, folks, Michael Mayer came alive a little bit in the second half of the season, a little bit more towards the end of the year. Aidan O'Connell, 8 touchdowns, 0 interception in his final month of his rookie season. So it's like, I get it. I would have loved Jayden Daniels, right? In my opinion, I wanted Jayden Daniels. But if you're going to lean into Aidan O'Connell or you're going to lean into new addition Gardner Minshew, you need to keep surrounding him with offensive weapons. And my point of Brock Bowers being the second best offensive player after this upcoming season, Jakobi Meyers is probably, if not, he's probably the most under-recognized, underrated wide receiver too in the National Football League. Like, folks, imagine Brock Bowers having a career season with 1,000 receiving yards, a couple of touchdowns, whatever, and you're going to pair that up with Davante Adams, Jakobi Meyers. You want to help your young QB with as many options as possible. They used the 13th pick on him. Teams all across the board would have loved him. He is going to hopefully be a generational talent for this roster. Now, moving on to JPJ, Jackson Powers Johnson, a little bit biased here. I have the same name. But he's, a guard slash center out of Oregon. People were losing their mind out of Oregon. It reminds me of my time at Southern Utah. I'm from the Midwest where we call Oregon, Oregon. And people were losing their minds. I remember watching like my second week ever in college, Southern Utah, the school I went to, get routed by Oregon like 73-7 or something like that. People thought I was a lunatic. I'll keep saying it. JPJ out of Oregon's a freaking stud. He played center. They announced him as a guard, which Vegas definitely needs a right guard. They picked up Cody Whitehair in free agency. Powers Johnson started games at both guard spots and center in his college career. However, last year he started 13 games at center, and he was an All-American. Folks, you want versatility on the offensive line. You want it all across the board. Starters, depth, injuries occur. It's more of a when, not if situation. And JPJ is the long-term answer at the offensive line for the Las Vegas Raiders. And considering we do have a center at this time, he's going to be playing the guard spot. And in my opinion, he's going to be a day one immediate impact. He's 6'3", 328 pounds. I imagine he's going to beat out Whitehair at right guard. And, once again, Andre James is the Raider center. He was re-signed this offseason to a 3-year, rightfully so, $24 million contract. So a lot of options there. And that's what they decided to do within their third round with Delmar Glaze. Versatile offensive lineman, just like JPJ. He can transition everywhere. And it's just kind of going to show you how much Tom Telesco and Antonio Pierce are valuing versatility on the offensive line. Like, it's the backbone of your offense. If you don't have an offensive line, you're not going to win too many football games, and just you're not going to make the playoffs. If you make the playoffs, well, you're not going to get too far without an offensive line that's deep, talented, and versatile. And this is probably more of a, he's like projected more as a swing tackle who might be set at guard. Folks, 12 games at right tackle, 1 game at left tackle as a junior, and all 13 games at left tackle last season for Maryland. He started in 32 of his 49 career college games. I like it, especially long term. DeCamerion Richardson, this dude is reportedly a project here. His intangibles are off the chart. This dude has crazy speed, and I didn't see all that much from Jacorian Bennett last season. I mentioned it in our last video. I'm still hopeful and confident on Jacorian Bennett, but I like the pick of DeCamerion Richardson in the 4th round. Now, we mentioned this a lot, and also, by the way, as we said in our last video, JPJ was the highest career pass blocking grade rated from PFF last season, and Delmar Glaze was ranked number 6. You got some dogs on the offensive line. We're running out of time here, so I'll briefly talk about Tommy Eichenberg. Keep in mind, we'll keep going in depth about all these players as time goes on. This dude's a freaking beast. Robert Spillane, Divine Diablo, they're both on expiring deals, the last year of their contracts. This is a long-term piece who's going to contribute in his rookie season. 82 tackles, 2.5 for loss, a sack, and a forced fumble in only 10 games last season. The Raiders, in my opinion, swung it out of the park in this year's NFL draft. Let me know your thoughts on Tom Telesco's first NFL draft. Give me a grade rating. Thank you guys for watching.